Now that everyone has practiced brush strokes and leaves, we are going to do a project today in our watercolor pad. We don't have to tape anything off. We're just gonna go for it. And I just want everybody to just be free flowing and just create and have some fun. So I want you to create enough of the paint mixture at a level 1. Remember, soft pastel colors, the lightest you can get, and paint leaves and stems all over the page, just like you did in your practice. But be intentional where you place the stem and the leaves, and think about, the design overall of the whole page. Notice how I'm holding my brush. I'm holding it kind of straight up to get those lines. Now here you'll see I'm doing 1, 2 strokes. 1, and then come away on top and around, 2. And again, just keep laying down that level 1. So this paper obviously is not 100% cotton. So it doesn't absorb as well as 100% cotton paper. I like the way this leaf came out, nice and smooth. Maybe I just had too much water on my brush before, and it gets that little puddle, but you can always remove that. So once again, I'm speeding up the video. I think that you understand what we're doing here, so we'll just speed it up and I can continue to show you what we're going to create. Don't worry if you make a little bit of mistakes here and there. It'll all work out. Try it different ways. Try skinny leaves, fat leaves, small ones, large ones. Here I switch to my number 6 brush. See if I can get thinner stems and smaller leaves. It looks like I can. Remember, we're using level 1 tonal value. It's going to be very pastel looking and light. So once this first layer is dry, I'm going to create a second layer, and this is going to be a mixture of level 4. So it's going to be a lot darker. And the paint is now completely dry. And when it's dry, you can go ahead and make some line work on a few of the leaves like this. Don't go crazy and do it everywhere, just kind of sporadically, just to make it look a little interesting. And again, the paint underneath is dry. What we're going to do now is we're going to use this level 4 darker value to create new leaves on top of the lighter leaves. Please make sure you mix enough of the level 4 because you're going to be using this to create some more leaves on top of the lighter leaves. This is creating depth in your painting, and it's going to make it more interesting, and it's going to help it pop. I'm going to speed up the video now, so obviously I'm not really doing it this fast in real time, but just want to get it through so you can look at what I'm doing. I'm just going to continue to make more leaves out of this level 4 mixture. We are continuing to use our larger round brush to make these larger style leaves. So these leaves, because they are a darker value, they really look like they're in front of the lighter leaves behind them. And here I switched to a smaller brush to make smaller leaves. It kind of helps break up the painting, give it a little bit more interest. Again, I feel like I'm just doodling, I'm just placing things on the page, but I'm also thinking about where would this look best on the page. Please notice that I'm not grounding every stem. It looks like some of these stems are floating on the top and some are floating on the bottom. This just kind of makes the overall design look much more interesting, doesn't it? I decided to add more line work on this side to kind of balance out the painting. Now I think I'm going to use a level 5. I kind of want a more darker, intense red. So I'm going to mix some paint right there on my palette, on a separate palette. And you see how this is a lot darker than the level 4 that I just did? Again, I think this will create more variety in the painting, more depth. An important reminder, always begin painting over the leaves that are already dried. They cannot be wet. They must be dry for this design. Don't forget to pick up more paint as needed. Remember, this is a level 5, so it's going to be very intense. It's not going to be dry at this point. We want it nice and juicy, but it's going to be very dark. Make sure your level 4 and your level 5 color values are much different. The level 5 has to be much darker than the level 4. Again, remember, this is a sped up video, so don't work this fast. Just 2 strokes or 1 stroke to make that leaf, and you're good to go. And look at your painting as a whole and see, where can I put a darker value? Where would it make sense on this page?